Hello, welcome to Alyssa Jean's Reviews, and this is my monthly live chat where I come on and drink some red wine and invite you all to join me and drink whatever beverage you would like to drink. This month, I am Alyssa, Queen of Spain, because I am drinking a Spanish wine. So this is Vino de España. It is Franco Massard. It is a Syrah. So I cannot be the Cab Sab queen this month because I'm drinking a Syrah, a Spanish Syrah. Que sera, sera, whatever. Oh, hi, Norman Buckwald and Maddie Jester joining me in the chat. Is so great to see you guys. You guys actually beat Brandon this month. I know Brandon is coming. He said he would be. So good to see both of you in the chat. Although, Norman, if you stick around for my talk on Prodigy, I don't know if you're going to like what I have to say. Hola, Brandon. Welcome to the chat. So I'm the Queen of Spain because I'm drinking a Spanish wine. Spanish wine. I feel like that's a song. Actually, I think I'm thinking of the Little Feat song, Spanish Moon. Anyways, well, it should be a song if it's not already. Anyways, so I'm here to talk about my pigtails. I'm here to talk about my nails. Mostly I'm here to talk about Star Trek Prodigy and Book of Boba Fett and then whatever else we feel like talking about. But I do want to talk about, I tried out pigtails for the first time last night. I loved it and decided to go for it 2 days in a row. So my hair's still not as long as I want it to be yet. I feel like I'm still limited in what I can do with it. Once it gets longer, there's a lot more I can do with it. But the other night, a friend was like, "You should just put it in pigtails." I'm like, "Yeah, I can do that." There's probably other things. Like I can do a little ponytail, but I don't like it as much with my hair as short as it is. I did get my nails done. Which I do every once in a while. Can't see, but they're purple, but they sparkle in the sun. Like when I went out, it's actually sunny here today, unbelievably. And when I went outside earlier and the sun was shining on them, they kind of sparkle. So that's nice. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let's see, you guys saying hello to each other. If you're talking about plot convenient memory loss being good, then yes, we're in disagreement. Plot convenient memory loss being good. Oh, you're going to say that I'm going to say that's good. Yeah, I don't know. You've been positive on what you call it, Prodigy in the past, and you've been taking it seriously like an adult show, and I think it's. I'm sure it's fine for kids. But it is terrible for adult Trekkies, at least for me. Why don't I start there? I was thinking I might start with Boba Fett, but since I'm already talking about it, first sip of wine. Cheers, everybody. There's only 5 episodes of Prodigy in my country so far, Brandon says. Yeah, those are the 5 bad ones, I'm sure. Like, it does get better. But the first 5, a lot of people love the finale. My brother was huge, or not the finale, the premiere, the series premiere. My brother was really huge in the series premiere. Other people were really huge in the series premiere. I thought it was average at best. I thought it was just the old Prison Break trope and nothing new. Like, I don't understand why people thought it was good. I didn't think it was terrible. I thought it was fine. And then the next episodes 2 through 5 were garbage, absolute garbage. Maybe they're great for kids, but not good for adults. So let me get into what I think about the second half of the season, which just finished. First of all, this is really irritating that they're doing 5 episodes, and then some undefined time in the summer, they're going to do 10 more episodes, and they're counting it all as the first season. That's bullshit. That episode that they just aired this week should be the season finale. That's a season finale. It's has the feel of a season finale. It's setting up for season 2. Why are they calling it all season 1? I don't really understand that. It should be. It really felt like the end of a season. It's the end of the diviner, or at least for now. He might, who knows? He might come back in some way, but it seems to be like a good finishing point. Like, it should be a 10-episode first season. So they're boggling my mind with this 20-episode season, and they're calling the other 10 episodes they're going to do later in the year part of the same season. So the time twist I'm fine with. Norman says, yeah, I don't have a big problem with that. Let me talk about the positives. Definitely got better. I felt, was that episode 6 or 7? Episode 6 with the Kobayashi Maru. I thought it was just fan service in a bad way. I'm about to talk about fan service in a good way a little bit later for a different show. But the line, like using the pre-recorded like dialogue from other episodes and sticking them in, like especially with Spock, was terrible. It was terrible. And that episode was not bad. I mean, it finally had Dal having some character growth. So it wasn't terrible. But I thought the Spock part was terrible, but like the episode overall wasn't terrible. It was fine. It was better than the previous 5. The episode with the Ferengi was awful. Awful. I think I've complained about this before, that the fact that there is no there's a complete disregard for space and distance between things. It reminds me of Game of Thrones season 7 and 8, where you could go from King's Landing to the wall in 5 minutes and it doesn't matter. King's Landing to the wall and back again in like 15 minutes. No big deal. Like, that's what Star Trek Prodigy is. This whole thing with the Ferengi who lived in the Delta Quadrant inexplicably, and then traveled all the way to the Gamma Quadrant, where the Protostar took the ship to, way over in the Gamma Quadrant. And the first ship they happen to run into is a Ferengi that was raised in the Delta Quadrant, and we don't even know how she got there in the first place. She should be from the Alpha Quadrant. And just the way that, I get that the ship has, Prodigy has the, the Protostar drive, whatever. That's fine, but it seems like all ships can just jump around like that. And I'm actually starting to get into one of my negatives of the show, because and then in episode 9 they were like, oh, should we go to Starfleet, or should we go to the planet where their diviner is in the fucking Delta Quadrant, and Starfleet's way the fuck over here in Alpha Quadrant? Sure, they can jump over there with their Protostar drive. And they're like, oh, Starfleet won't get there in time. Yeah, because it'll take them 60 years. It's freaking the Delta Quadrant. 80 years. Isn't that what they said? 80 years? So I don't get this. Like, it's a complete disregard for distance. And just the layout of space and the galaxy. And what I've said before is, this is telling me that they don't give a shit about it because kids aren't going to care anyway. So they're gearing this specifically for kids. And they're saying to me directly, Alyssa, this show is not for you. That's what they're saying to me by having a complete disregard for space and distance. And they continue to do that. So it boggles my mind when people say this is a good show. Like when my brother said last week, that, all due respect to my brother, that this is the second best modern Trek show. This is a distant last place. Take season 1 of Discovery a million times over this. I was supposed to start with my positives, but I started jumping into the rant because I started talking about that Ferengi episode, which was terrible. Although I will say about that Ferengi episode, I loved that the look and feel of that species they went to visit, and the crystal planet. That was cool, but all the stuff with the Ferengi was awful. So yeah, I'll get back to another reason why I think it's mind-boggling that anyone would think this is anything other than the worst show when it comes to adults. Kids, okay, fine. I'll get back around to that. I want to talk about excuse me. Oh, and I drink some wine. I want to talk about episode 8, which is actually my favorite episode of the series. Let me jump back in the chat, though. See what people are saying. Oh, I gotta scroll up a little bit. I missed a lot. Diviner is not an interesting villain. The Borg Queen is less cartoonish. Yes. I mean, although, to be fair, this is a cartoon. The Borg Queen is not in a cartoon. So, yeah. But yes, I agree. Okay. Brandon says it's really worrying. Yeah, Brandon, I wouldn't waste my time with it personally if I were you. But, I mean, I'm watching it, so whatever. Maddie, I haven't seen much of Prodigy other than the clip of the socials. Let me know if there's an awesome cameo call for Lieutenant Harry Kim. Oh, yeah, we talked about it last time, Lieutenant Harry Kim or Lieutenant Commander Harry Kim. I don't know. We did get Admiral Janeway at the end, and Chakotay, apparently, Captain Chakotay is apparently out there somewhere. We don't really know where he is, but Admiral Janeway is going to look for him. So I think he should be Lieutenant. No, he should be Commander Harry Kim at least at this point, right? At least Lieutenant Commander. Yeah, Maddie, I will let you know if we get that cameo. We might. We're getting other Voyager characters, so might. Norman says Diviner is up there with Osira, which makes me a big modern Trek. Either study Dukat or just don't do villains. Yeah. Yeah, it makes me beg modern Trek. Okay, that makes more sense. I thought you said big modern Trek. Yeah, either study Dukat or don't do villains. Yeah, I'm a little worried about Discovery Season 4. I like so far that they haven't really done a villain in Season 4 of Discovery, and that's good. I mean, the villain is the DMA, but there is somebody behind that, so I'm a little worried. Yeah, they're not doing villains very well in modern Trek. Yeah, the what's her face in Picard was terrible. Good thing she's not coming back for season 2, except she's being replaced by the fucking Borg Queen. Anyway, yes, Norman is saying what I just said too about the Voyager characters. Brandon House says maybe Gendry's powering the ship. See, the thing is, they have a protostar drive that allows them to travel great distances. Fine. They've already done a drive like this with the Spore drive, but fine, let's do a different kind of drive like that. Sure. But it doesn't explain how all of the other ships can go from place to place so quickly. Ferengi backstory was handled sloppily. Yes. 75 years if the Okama planet is a Delta Quadrant. Yes. Friend says, get it off your chest, you'll feel better. I don't feel better though. I sure. Isn't the Ocarina planet screwed? What is that? Ocarina? What are you talking about? Isn't that planet screwed now? I can't remember exactly, but weren't they running out of power after a few years? Okampa. Okay, you corrected yourself on the next. I should have just read to the next comment. Yeah, I think it was something like that. There's a podcast called Star Trek Voyager Season 8. Is it better than the? Did you guys watch the Deep Space Nine documentary, What We Left Behind, What We Leave Behind, or whatever? It's a play off of the finale, and I always get it mixed up. But I watched it for the first time recently, and parts of that documentary, they're sitting around, all the old writers, they get the whole gang back together, and Ronald D. Moore is there, and all the whole gang is there, and of course Ira Stephen Bear, who's like doing the documentary, and they're all there, and they're brainstorming a Deep Space Nine Season 8, and they show like kind of animated, like little drawings of it as they go through it, and I'm sorry, but what they were coming up with sucks. Like, I would fucking hate that. I'm so glad they're not doing that. I think it sounds terrible. So if Voyager Season 8 is anything like that, this podcast, then I won't like it. Matty Chester says it'll be a Sire again behind the DMA, back from the dead, being mean and green. That would be the worst thing ever, but I don't think they're going to do that. Yes, there was a fab documentary. Mixed impressions of the proposed Deep Space Nine. It was a draft, though. It would have been further developed. I thought the concept of it was bad. Like they would have for me to like it, they would have to like crumble that up and start all over again. Like I did not like that. The whole thing with Nog and I don't know, like Nog, like getting them all together secretly somehow by saying that Vic Fontaine was dying. Like, why would anyone buy that? He's a fucking hologram. Like, this is so dumb. And I don't like how everybody's evil. Like, I know Kira kind of turns at the end, but I didn't like how she was sort of evil and like how they're training. They're like the Bajorans are getting Jem'Hadar soldiers. That makes no sense to me. That's dumb. That's all dumb. And then they were saying, oh, we could have Bashir be the leader of Section 31. No, that's terrible. So they would have to crumble that all up and start all over again. Like every word that they said in that documentary would have to be just completely disregarded in order for me to like it. So just it being a draft is not good enough for me. They would have to completely change the whole thing, or otherwise I would say it's garbage. But luckily, it was just a theoretical season anyways, and never going to happen. Yeah. And Norman agrees Vic Fontaine proposed plot point was plain stupid. Yeah. But you know how I feel about Vic Fontaine. Same way my brother feels. One of the worst things Star Trek has ever done. Anyways, getting back around to Star Trek Prodigy. Episode 8. I was going to talk about episode 8. Let me take another sip. Hey, what are you guys drinking? Are you guys drinking anything? Doesn't have to be alcohol. Just curious. So, great concept for episode 8. There hasn't been. I always love it when they mess with time in Star Trek, and this was kind of a unique one. Having the different parts of the ship, it was a little bit similar to Shattered from Voyager, but different, and different parts of the ships going in different speeds of time, and that the hologram Janeway could go from one to the next. I really like that concept. I thought that was a very cool episode. I do have a problem. One problem with it. I'll get back around to that later. Best episode of the show, easily. I think that is the one that really speaks most to the adult Trekkie. I think that's the one where I can appreciate, except for one aspect of it, which I said I'll get back to. So that was a good one. Then the episodes 9 and 10, like the kind of the mid-season finales or whatever, like or whatever you're calling this. I think it should be the season finale, personally. Yeah, they were better than the beginning of the season. They're fine. Yeah, as Norm mentioned earlier about the time travel thing, I don't have a problem with that. That's fine. I don't know. The memory loss thing, yeah, that's kind of dumb. Like, that's very plot convenient. Like, oh, she found out this huge information, and then conveniently her memory's erased. And I agree with what my brother said in his review, is that rather than looking at, Dal kept saying, look at me. She was looking at him and then ended up looking at the reflection off of his combat and seeing, Zero anyways, seeing the Medusa thing anyways. And my brother said, why didn't she just close her eyes? I know! Why didn't she just close her? Because then she wouldn't plot conveniently lose her memory. That's why. So, I don't know. It's really stupid. But it was okay. I didn't hate it. I also agree with my brother about the evil Janeway. That was so dumb, evil Janeway. I'm glad that I don't know how Gwen knew how to turn it. But it seemed to me like they completely deleted the old Janeway program and replaced it with the evil Janeway. So I don't think Gwen should have been able to do that. But whatever. I'm glad that she did. I think it's cool that we get the real Janeway, the Admiral Janeway, and she apparently is. Did they say what starship that was? I think I missed that when they say what starship she's on. She has a Trill lieutenant, and she apparently maybe she pulled like a Kirk in the motion picture, where Kirk just goes up to a ship and says, "I'm taking over now," for no fucking good reason. I wonder if that's what she did to some poor captain. I don't know how she get to be in charge of a starship if she's an admiral. Anyway, but she's looking for Chakotay. Where is Chakotay? Oh, Okay, so I want to talk about the characters because here's where my problem is. So Dal is good. I like that they've given Dal some character development. If they had not, if he continued to be as obnoxious as he was through the first 5 episodes, I'd be quitting now. I know I had said that I wanted to stay through the first season, but if Dal was not developed the way that he has been, I would be quitting. It would just drive me crazy. I wouldn't be able to stand it if he continued to be the way he was through the first 5 episodes. I like Dal. Now he's getting better. I've always liked Gwen. She's a very interesting character, probably the most interesting on the show, even though her father is a very cartoonish, two-dimensional villain. And this time, this memory loss thing is dumb, but I do like Gwen. Zero, I've always liked. My brother also pointed out in his review, why didn't Zero do that thing to the Diviner sooner? Like, he should have done that, or they. I don't know what Zero's gender is. I don't know if that's been, I'm just going to say they, because I'm not sure. Yeah, they should have done that before. Like, all that time, apparently, they were being forced to, do that shit to other people by the Diviner. Why didn't they just do that to the Diviner in the first place? But whatever. I do like Zero. The other characters are still very cartoonish. I've said it before about Murph. I kind of like Murph. Murph is fun, but I feel like Murph would be better as a comic relief in a, more adult Star Trek show, a little bit more adult than this, and would work well for comic relief, but mixed in with all the other characters. So, okay, Jacob Pod is out of a Saturday morning cartoon, and in Rock Top is straight out of Sesame Street. And I'm sorry, this is where I get into my negative about episode 8. So Rock Top was in the slowest moving time frame and apparently was there for years and learned all of this complicated Starfleet, how to run a ship and all of that. If I was on there for years, I probably wouldn't be able to learn that. Like, you still gotta be capable of learning that. And I don't buy that Rock Top would be able to do that, even given years. And then what we have in like episodes 9 and 10, I think especially episode 10, is Rock Top now in this really ridiculous, squeaky, high-pitched voice talking about just spouting out technobabble. So like in the latest episode, she was like telling Jacob Pop, all you have to do is connect the 2 plasma converters and hook it up to the warp drive. And then, I don't remember specifically what the technobabble was, but saying this technobabble in this really high-pitched voice, honestly, you may as well have had fucking Elmo doing that. If you have Elmo just spouting out technobabble, it would look equally as ridiculous as Rock Top spouting out. This is where it like boggles my mind. How do you people like the show or take it seriously when fucking Elmo is spouting out technobabble? So it just, I'm sorry, but that will always hold this show back. Again, for kids, fine, but this show was billed as, it's a kid's show, but it will also translate to adult Trekkies. Adult Trekkies will appreciate it. A show that does not give a shit about time and distance, or more so distance between places, and has Elmo spouting technobabble. I'm sorry, that is not for adult Trekkies. This is just not for me. I will say gotten better. It's fine. I have said previously that the peak of this show would be a 7 out of 10 for me. That's as good as it could possibly get. I don't think it's quite there yet. I would maybe put it as 5 or 6. But if they don't fix the in distance thing, then it's a 5 max. Okay, let's go back into the chat. Get a bunch of stuff in the chat. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to read it all this week. Leave section 31 out of it. And a little side note about that, I saw a video recently just talking about the latest news of the new Trek shows that are coming up, and apparently the section 31 show unfortunately is still happening. I was hoping they would just kind of forget about it. The section 31 show with Michelle Yeoh. I love Michelle Yeoh. I know, Brandon, you've said before you don't like her. I fucking love her. I think she's great. I don't want to see a section 31 show, though. It would be more interesting since they put Michelle Yeoh through the Guardian Forever. She can go anywhere. I would rather see her somewhere else. But I guess that's still happening. Okay. I like the idea of Kira being a Vedic. Yeah, that's fine. I didn't like what they did with her. Brandon Bulmer Cider. Very good. Cheers. Estrella. Estrella, damn. I like it Spanish, but a bit more expensive, but good stuff. Cheers. Oh, I jumped ahead of Norman here. Well, Norman had written that before, but I hadn't seen it. About Section 31. Please know Section 31 series, at least it exists. It has to pretend season 2 of Disco of Section 31 never happened, and it's mostly unknown entity. Yeah. It's not going to do that, though. I don't know. What if Giorgio went back to, like, she went to the Deep Space Nine Section 31? That would be more interesting to me. But leave Bashir out of it. That's so dumb to make Bashir in charge of Section 31. That's so stupid. Don't do that. That would be more interesting. But then apparently, like, they have also confirmed that the dude who plays Ash Tyler is going to be in it. So it'll be that Discovery time period. So, okay. Brandon says, I don't think Zero has a gender. Yeah, I think you're right. That's well, I will use they, them pronouns for Zero. Not that they are necessarily non-binary. They just simply, their species doesn't have a gender. Maybe the whole species, I guess, technically is non-binary, but they don't have binary gender. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know. Norman says, Murph is cute, but what makes people want to give a Murph toy this Christmas? But it's what makes people want to give, yeah. Oh, I'm sure. It's yeah. It's walking. He's walking merchandise. Murph is. Maddie Jester. It was Dauntless, the Starfleet recreation of the fake alien one they encountered in the Delta Quadrant. The Dauntless. Is that Aaron Walkty said in an interview they built it based on the info the Voyager crew obtained. That's the name of the ship? Is that what you're saying? The Dauntless? Add an S and it would be a Smurf. Oh, Murph, yeah. Although I pictured my head being spelled M-U-R-P-H, like short for Murphy, but maybe you guys are right, spelling it with an F. Protostar is the News 4 drive. Yeah, it is. Maddie Jester, Michelle EO is back. Boom. I know everyone doesn't want to see Section 31, but I'll watch it. I'll watch it. I'm watching Prodigy. I'll watch anything that says Star Trek on it. And I love Michelle Yeoh. I just don't like what they did with Section 31 and Discovery, and I don't want that explored more. So that's my problem. But I love Michelle Yeoh. Sloan would never allow a Klingon sleeper agent and an empress from the Mirror Universe running it. Yeah, but he shouldn't allow Dr. Bashir to run. Well, Sloan's gone now, so isn't he? If I remember correctly, yeah. The line must be drawn here about the Section 31 show. Brandon says the line must be drawn here. Yeah, totally. All right. I'm going to switch gears a little bit. I'm sure we'll be chatting about Star Trek some more. You guys can feel free to continue just chatting about Star Trek if you want. I'll get back around to it. I'm going to pour a little wine off the screen here. Here, a little wine. I have to talk about Book of Boba Fett. I'm going to do a full review. I don't know if you guys are watching now. Maybe I'll try to do this spoiler-free-ish. Because I'm going to do a full review. So the finale is next week, but then the week after is when I'm doing my full review. But I have to talk about these last two episodes. Especially, okay, so this is the most recent episode, Chapter 6, Episode 6. Here's my impression of me watching Chapter 6 of the Book of Boba Fett. Hey, he's from that other show. Hey, he's from those movies. Hey, she's from that other show. Hey, he's from that other show. Hey, he's from those movies. Hey, he's from that animated show, and now he's in live action, but he's from that other show. And that is the episode. That sums up the whole episode. It was chock full of fan service, but you know what? I loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Star Wars served me a big, giant, heaving bowl of fan service, and I took a giant spoon and gobbled it up, and it was delicious. I love the fan service so much. The big problem with it, though, with this episode and the episode before, is that it's a show called The Book of Boba Fett, and Boba Fett isn't fucking in it. So what are they doing? What are they doing? So, and there would have been such a simple solution to this problem. All you would have had to do is name it something else. Like, why did they call this The Book of Boba Fett and have 2 entire episodes where Boba Fett appears for a total of 1 scene and has 0 lines? I saw like a meme that was joking around saying, "Oh, big news! Boba Fett is going to be cameoing in next week's episode of Book of Boba Fett." It's like Boba Fett will finally make a cameo in his own show. So why did they call it this? They should have called it something broader in scope, like something more generalized. I thought maybe Star Wars Tatooine could have been a possibility, although that's not 100% either because they're not always on Tatooine, but that would be more accurate than the Book of Boba Fett. I don't know. You know how like Star Trek did Strange New Worlds? It's the only show of Star Trek since the original series and the animated series that is not named after the ship or station, as the case may be, because they can't call it Star Trek Enterprise because that's already taken. So they said, "Oh, let's do Strange New Worlds." That's good. So they should have done something like that for this. Like they should have gone like, I don't know, like Star Wars, May the Force be with you. Something just generic that means nothing, because then you can do this sort of pseudo anthology series, which is what they are actually doing. The first 4 episodes focus on Boba Fett, and then we go into the Mandalorian, and then a shit ton of other characters in episode 6. It's like an anthology series. So like they should have called it, like they could have called it Star Wars, May the Force be with you. And that would be a much better title than the Book of Boba Fett. So if they had called it something else other than the Book of Boba Fett, I would be talking about this as the best Star Wars season on television that's ever been. I'm just, especially these last 2 episodes, I think On an Island are the best 2 episodes, or 2 of the best episodes of live action Star Wars at the very least on television. You can put maybe a couple of Mandalorian episodes up there with it, but I loved them. I loved the last 2 weeks. I just don't understand why it's in a show called The Book of Boba Fett. All they needed to do was just call the show something different. I don't know why they called this The Book of Boba Fett. It doesn't make any sense at all. But yeah, I had to get that off my chest. I loved this week's episode. I loved the fan service. I don't know how much I should spoil it, but the Jedi training, such a callback to the old films. Loved it. Okay. Let's see, where are we at in the chat? Okay, I already read that part. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Is Boba Fett a long-running series or just a limited event? I thought it was only a limited event, but everybody's calling it season 1, so I don't know. I thought I heard it was just a limited series, so I'm not actually sure. Also, does he have a book? Is he running his bounty hunter memoirs or something? I don't know why they're calling this the Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, even if it's a show about Boba Fett, why are they calling it the Book of? Like, it makes me think like it's out of the Bible or something. Like, why is it called the Book of Boba Fett? That is a good point. He does not have a book. Matty Jester says, Star Wars, remember when a blind man accidentally knocked that bounty hunter into a monster hole? Here's a new series. Brandon says, can't comment, haven't watched any of the Book of Boba Fett. Brandon says, do you need to watch The Mandalorian first? Well, yeah, I mean, for the first 4 episodes, you don't really. I mean, it does leave off after Mandalorian season 2, but it's not directly related, so you wouldn't need that. But for the last 2 episodes, it's basically the Mandalorian. The last 2 episodes are basically the Mandalorian season 2.5. So for the last 2 episodes, yes, you would have had to watch the Mandalorian, or you'll have no idea what's happening, because this is the Mandalorian season 2.5. So I don't know what's happening here. But I loved it. I fucking loved it. If it was called something else, I would be talking about this as the best Star Wars show. Yeah, I guess that's really all I needed to say about it. I just had to get that off my chest. I really needed to say, why are they calling this the Book of Boba Fett? And that was a good point, Maddie, too. Why is he writing a book? No, he's not writing a book. He's laying down in this banta tank and having flashbacks of how he escaped the Sarlacc pit and hung out with the Sand People and did a Dances with Wolves. I think it's as good as The Mandalorian, though. I think The Mandalorian is overrated. I think it's a mediocre show. I think it has really good episodes, but especially in the first half of the first season, it's a lot of garbage. So I think overall it's a mediocre show. Maddie Jester asks, is the Ewan McGregor series out soon? It'll be out sometime this year. Disney is not being very good about giving us firm dates for any of the Star Wars stuff. Not like they do for the Marvel stuff. The Marvel stuff we have a much better idea of when that's all happening. Latest rumor I heard was that the Bad Batch season 2 is going to premiere on May the 4th, which is also when season 1 premiered last year, and then Obi-Wan would be sometime after that. But there may be some, since the Bad Batch has 16 episodes, there's probably going to be some crossover, because Obi-Wan would likely start sometime in June, is what I understand. But that is very, very tentative. There's been nothing official. I would expect it by midsummer at the latest. So I think the order is going to be Bad Batch season 2, Obi-Wan, Andor, which as a show, I have no idea why they're making that show. And then at the very end of the year will be Mandalorian season 3. And now that I've seen Mandalorian season 2.5, I'm actually really excited for Mandalorian season 3. I think it's actually going to be potentially the best season of the Mandalorian, because I think they're going to really explore the whole lore of the planet Mandalore. And I have gone back and rewatched all of the previous episodes of the Clone Wars and Rebels that deal with Mandalore. And I'm going to do a video about that in a couple weeks. But it's got me kind of excited for Mandalorian season 3. But I think that's the end of the year. I think the order will be Bad Batch season 2, Obi-Wan, Andor, why are we doing this show? And then Mandalorian season 3 at the end of the year. I believe that is the order. With Ahsoka coming out in 2023, most likely. That one I'm really excited for as well. Can't wait for the Ahsoka one. Let's see. Yeah, looks like you're dressed for the summer. It becomes you. Yeah, I kind of busted out this summer dress for today, but I'm wearing leggings under it, and then when I go outside, I wear my winter coat. So there's no reason why I can't wear a summer dress, right? Yeah, I haven't worn this since the summer, and I was like looking through my closet today. What do I want to wear for my live stream? I'm trying not to wear like the same things over and over, and I definitely do. Like there's definitely, if you watch all my videos, you'll see some of the same outfits. And I'm trying to mix it up. I really do put that into consideration when I get up in the morning and I know I'm going to be recording, and like, well, I don't want to wear something that I've worn a bunch of times or something that I've worn recently. And this is one I was like, I don't know if I've ever worn it. For maybe at the beginning of this channel I wore it once, back when it was still the summer, when I started this channel in August. But I don't think I've worn it that often, so I was like, I'm gonna wear that, even though it is summery. But yeah, you know, I got leggings, I got a winter coat, it's fine, whatever. But thank you for noticing, Brandon. Okay, Maddie, did you like Rogue One? That seemed to be divisive. You know what? I thought it was okay when I first saw it. I recently did a rewatch of all the Star Wars films or the not all the Star Wars films, but I did that a couple of years ago. But I did the stories. I did Rogue One and Solo like last year sometime, and I liked both of them better than I had the first time that I saw them. Actually, I think I've seen Rogue One like 3 or 4 times now. I like Rogue One. It's a solid film. I think it's better than the sequels. If I'm being honest, is it great? Is it like really high quality content? No, but it's good. It's a solid movie. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. When I did my rewatch last year of it, I enjoyed it. I really did. It's better than Solo too. I did enjoy Solo more the second time than the first time, but I still think it's an okay movie. It's an okay movie. I like Rogue One better than Solo. By the way, the rumor is that the character Kira, not to be confused with Major Kira, who spells her name with a K, but Kira, who spells her name with a Q, who was played by Daenerys Targaryen herself in Solo, a Star Wars story. The rumor is that, well, I guess in the comics, because the comics count, which I think is bullshit, the comics count as canon. I guess she becomes like a big, she takes Darth Maul's place as the big crime lord. And so the rumor is that she is behind everything in the Book of Boba Fett, and we might see Emilia Clarke in episode 7, the finale, next week, potentially. There's also been very heavy Han Solo rumors where they're going to de-age him like they de-aged Luke. I don't know. I don't know where he's going to fit in. Like, I'm watching this, I'm like, they're just going to throw Han Solo. Well, they may as well, man. They're throwing everyone else in there, like, just randomly. Like, oh, look at these characters. Look at that one. And don't get me wrong, I love it. So they may as well. They may as well just throw, like, here's Han Solo. Like, they may as well just do that. Yeah, and I wonder if he would interact with Kira. I know that sounds weird saying Kira. I'm not talking about Major Kira. What does she become? Colonel Kira later? Yeah, now I'm talking about Kira with a Q from Star Wars, a Solo story. She might be in it. I don't know. Let's see. I'm not sure why they're doing a prequel series to it, Andor. Yeah, I know. Why are they doing a prequel to a prequel? Like, what? I don't know. Like, I watched there's this YouTube channel I watch for all my Star Wars stuff that I really like, and Star Wars Meg, and she was like, she did a video like last year. She was like, could be better than people think it's going to be. Like, there's a lot of rumors out there that could be like, we could get a lot of great crossovers. It could be more relevant to the greater Star Wars universe than we think. It could be really good. And I'm like, yeah, we'll see. I'm very skeptical about that. I'll watch it. Just like I'll watch the Section 31 show whenever that comes out, but don't have high expectations. Let's see. Yeah, let's say. Okay. Where what feels good to you, I endure your fashion sense. Thank you. I like my fashion sense too. I experiment with a lot of different things. But the things that I keep, like, I definitely, like, my wardrobe goes in and out. I take runs to Goodwill every once in a while, like, with a big bag of stuff that, like, I bought and, like, I don't know, like that. And then I get other things. With the things that I keep, I really like. So I'm glad you like this. I haven't worn it in a very long time. And let's see. Yeah. Brandon asked a question. Maddie answered it. Andor is a prequel to a prequel. So they're gonna introduce a new character in Andor and then do a show about that person. So it'll be a prequel to a prequel to a prequel. A little ridiculous. I don't know. And then set it before episode 1, so it'll be a prequel to a prequel to a prequel to a prequel. A little ridiculous. Yeah, I only watched Rogue One once, and that was years ago. It's not that old. Years ago. It's not that old. It's like, what, 2016? years ago. It was like, what, 5 or 6 years ago. um, hmm. Is there a term for a prequel to a prequel? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't think so because I don't think anyone ever does it. Like, no one ever thinks, like, hey, you know how we have this prequel? Let's do a prequel to that. Like, I don't think anyone ever does that. So I don't think there is a term for that. I don't know. I'll watch it and I'll hope that it's better than they think it'll be. Maybe it will be. You never know. I did. I don't know if you guys saw my video on 5 shows I'm excited for in 2022 and 3 that I'm not. And that was one of them. Andor was one of them. I was like, why? Why? Why are they doing this? House of Dragon was another one. I really enjoyed Fire and Blood. In fact, the way that he wrote about the Dance with the Dragons in that book was probably my favorite part of the whole book. And I guess this is going to be about the Dance of the Dragons. I don't know how you make a show out of it, though. Like, I don't know. But mainly, I'm not excited about it because I just have a bad taste in my mouth from Game of Thrones. Even though Dan and Dave aren't involved, it's a totally different thing. But it's hard for me to be excited about anything related to Game of Thrones after season 7 and 8. So I have very low expectations for it. I'll watch it and maybe it'll be better. So Andor was the other one. I think House of the Dragon, of the 3 that I said I wasn't excited for, it probably has the best chance of being something I enjoy. And I would say Andor has the second best chance. I'm pretty sure the other one I mentioned was Stranger Things season 4. I'm pretty sure that's going to suck. I'm almost on the verge of not even watching it, but I don't know. I've come this far in Stranger Things. I'll watch season 4 and see what they do, but I really think it's just going to be repeating the same story beats over and over just for a cash grab. And if I make it to the end of season 4 and that's what it is, then I definitely won't watch any season 5 or 6 or anything else they do for a cash grab for Stranger Things. Stranger Things of the 3 would be the one that I'm most expecting to suck. I would say House of the Dragon has the best chance of the 3 to be good, and Andor has the second best chance to be good. With you on the Dance of the Dragons, best Andor out there is Jeffrey Combs as Shan on Enterprise. Best Andor. Oh, best Andor. I get it. I was like, what? Those are called Andorians, though, not Andor. But I see what you're going for there. I want to see Jeffrey Combs back in live action. Like, he was fantastic as the evil genius supercomputer and Lower Decks as a voice, but I want to see Jeffrey Combs back in live action. Like, they need to bring him into Discovery, or maybe he'll be in Strange New Worlds. I don't know. There was a time there was a fan campaign to try to get him to play the Doctor from The Cage. That old man doctor. I don't know. That seems like a weird role for Jeffrey Combs to play. I would rather him play somebody completely different than that. I don't know why people want him to play that role. But it sounds like they're actually getting that doctor, forget his name, but he was the black dude who was like a doctor in like one episode of the original series. And he was a fan favorite, but then they were like, oh, we can't have a black doctor. We can only do that in one episode. So I think that character has been confirmed for the series. I forget who's playing him. I think it was somebody I had heard of, actually, who was playing this character. But it's not going to be Jeffrey Combs as the old man. That was a dumb doctor in the Cage. It was a really like 1960s dynamic between the doctor and Captain Pike. He's like pouring him shots of whiskey. Like, hey, let's talk about your man problems. I don't know why people wanted Jeffrey Combs to play that character. I would love to see Jeffrey Combs back. I really, really want to see Jeffrey Combs back, actually. But it'd be good for him to play a villain again. I think he would be good. He's really good with the villains. But he was also good in as Shran, who it's been a while since I watched Enterprise, but he ultimately is not really a villain, right? He ends up helping Archer, if I remember. I still need to do my rewatch of Enterprise. I am still putting it off. I'll get to it later. I need a break after Voyager 6 and 7. Let's see. Brunt. FCA Brunt. Yeah. Is Jeffrey Combs the only actor in Star Trek history to play two characters in a single episode? Two different characters in one episode? Probably not. There's probably some other minor actor who played two different characters in a single episode. I don't know. But one of the episodes toward the end of season 7, I forget specifically which one, he played both Brunt and Wayun. Brunt. That whole Ferengi thing. Okay. Yeah, as long as he's not Brunt, I'm okay with it. I'll drink to that, Brandon. Mbenga? What are you talking about? It's probably referencing something I said a little while ago. I'll tell you something. There's an FCA here in the UK, the Financial Conduct Association or something. I wanted a job there, so I could say my name followed by FCA. Actually, to be honest with you, I forgot about the FCA. When I first saw the Brunt FCA, I was like, wait, what's FCA again? But now it's a Ferengi Commerce Association or whatever. Yeah. So that is not something that is in my head. Like that's not something I wouldn't want to join the FCA just so I could say I am the FCA, because I would never ever think of the FCA. But that's me. Yeah, keep putting it off, dear soul. What I'm waiting for is for Paramount Plus to add the fucking skip intro feature. They're the only fucking streaming service that doesn't have skip intro, and they have Enterprise. That's cruel. That is cruel and unusual punishment. I think they're the only one left that has Enterprise anymore, unless Hulu has it or something, and Netflix doesn't anymore. And eventually they will be, if they aren't already. That's the plan for them. They'll have all the Star Trek exclusively. Right now, original series and TNG is still on Netflix, but eventually they won't be either. But they need to get a skip intro feature if they're going to have Star Trek Enterprise on their streaming service. You can't not. That's cruel. That is so cruel. You can't not have the skip intro when you have Star Trek Enterprise in your service. That is just cruel. The Black Doctor in TOS was Mbenga, I think. Okay, cool. Yeah, and he's in Strange New Worlds. Yeah, and do you remember who's playing him? Because I think I remember it being someone I had heard of before. I was like, oh, he's playing that guy. That's cool. I don't feel like looking it up right now. I've got you guys to do that work for me. Yeah, Enterprise in the United States is no longer on Netflix, Brandon. The only ones left are Enterprise or TOS and TNG. And eventually, as I just said, all of them will be exclusively on Paramount Plus, at least in the US. I don't know about the rest of the world. But that is the plan. So Enterprise, in fact, I was watching Voyager when I was doing my Voyager rewatch. I was watching it on Netflix. And I had to switch over to Paramount Plus to finish up seasons 6 and 7 because they took it off of Netflix while I was watching it on Netflix. So I had to switch streaming services. I have Paramount Plus, but I had to switch over. Okay. Norman says, no kidding, I have to bring back the old tradition my friend Frederick once did back when it originally aired, put on the mute button during the intro in Enterprise every time. Yeah, I could mute button it, I guess. I was thinking I would just fast forward it because I don't even want to see it. Because if I see the visuals, the song will be in my head. It'll just be playing in my head. So I would rather fast forward it, but the problem with that is always fast forward a little bit too far, and then I'll have to rewind. And I'll get right, and then when I rewind, I'll rewind too far, and then I'll hear "I got faith in the hot, and I'm like, and I'll have to fast forward back again. Maybe the mute button would be better. I don't know, and I'll just not look at the TV so I don't see the visuals. Paramount Plus should just get a skip intro button. Seriously. Okay. Yeah, he seemed to be the chief medical officer when Bones wasn't around. I think he was only in one episode, though. I think I heard that recently. I think they were talking about him in something I was watching, probably on YouTube, that he was only in one episode. Maybe he was in two. I think he was only in one. Paramount Plus platform needs to seriously be updated. So, sometimes it zonks out on me. I haven't had that problem. Yeah, they need to get the skip intro button. It's been a long road. Yes, it has, Matty Jester. It's been a very long road. I'm going to drink to it being a very long road. Getting from there to here. One of the biggest bursts of spontaneous laughter that I've had in recent years was when I watched the season one finale of Lower Decks, and Riker comes out and he's like, he's just come out of the holodeck visiting Jonathan Archer, and he's like, yeah, it's been a long road getting from there to here, and I just like wrecked off. Although when I watched it again, it wasn't as funny, but just the fact that it was just kind of out of nowhere, like maybe just crack up laughing. Babs, Alyssa, yeah, but who else is that? That actor whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Who else has he played? Because I think it was somebody I recognized. If you don't know, I can Wikipedia it myself, but I won't do that until after I'm done here. Yeah, other than the song, like the visuals. Yeah, I don't know. I can't, because the visuals will just make me think of the song. So I associate the visuals with the song. So I couldn't watch them. Yeah, 10 seconds is not enough to go back or forward. Yeah, I think I'm going to wait a couple more months. I'm going to wait it out and see if Paramount, maybe I'll write them like directly. Hey, where's your skip intro feature? Why do you not have this? You're literally the only streaming service that does not have this. Or at least that I've seen. Like Prime has it, Disney Plus has it, Netflix has it, Hulu has it. All the ones that I've ever seen have a skip intro, except for Paramount. So maybe I'll just write them an angry email. Like, you have Enterprise. Do you understand that you have Star Trek Enterprise in your service and no skip intro button? I know I'm harping on about this a lot, but I'm just like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Okay, I'm kind of running out of things to talk about. I've just been chatting with you all in the chat. Oh, did I mention that? Very different topic. Did I mention that yesterday was 1.5 year anniversary on HRT for me, hormone replacement therapy? It's a big deal. I like how things are going. I'm not going to get into the details now. I'm doing a video later this month about my HRT update, trans life update, all that stuff. So I'll get into that later this month. But yesterday was my 1.5 years, and I'm feeling pretty good. Got my nails looking good, and my pigtails, like my earrings. Got my summery outfit in the winter. Feeling good. He was Jamis in Dune. No, that doesn't help me. I'm going to look him up. He was in something that I know. Like Dune, I saw Dune, but like that's not where I wouldn't go, oh, that's the dude from Dune. Like, no, it would be something else. I'll look it up when I'm done. Yeah, so yeah, it was February 4th was my 1.5 years. And the video in which I'm going to do, in which I'm going to talk about my 1.5 years, will actually be like February 25th when I release it, but still close enough. So yeah, it's very exciting. I'm feeling good, Yeah, Maddie says, saw my timeline video has 30,000 views. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, my timeline video has more views than the rest of my channel combined by a lot. Like, I think like at least, because I don't know that the rest of my channel has 1,000 views. So, which is fine. It is what it is. I do this for fun. But it's funny that my timeline video has 30 times the views of anything else. I mean, everything else combined. I mean, like everything else on my channel combined does not, is 30 times less than the timeline video. So yeah, I kind of wish some of those people would maybe filter in to the rest of my channel. But it's fine. It's fine. It is cool that I've gotten that many. I'm going to do a new one after my 2-year HRT anniversary, which will be August 4th this year. I'm gonna keep this one up because it has 30,000 views. So I'm not gonna, and it might have 50,000 by then or more. So I'm not gonna take that one down, but I'm gonna put up a new one that's gonna be more condensed because it's gonna be covering a greater period of time and it's gonna go up to 2 years. So that is going to be coming. Irony lives, I'm not sure what you're referring to. You're probably referring to something I said 5 minutes ago, and now I don't remember because I'm drinking wine. So you'll have to clarify. Well, it has been 1 hour and 58 seconds, including there's a little timer on the corner up here of my screen. You all don't see. Now 1 hour and 1 minute and 10 seconds. So it's been an hour, so it'll probably go soon. We could talk about Discovery. I watched all of season 4 for you, so there. Yeah, that's right. Season 4 is coming back. Episode 8 next week. I still hate that they took a break. I hate this, but it's fine. Not that much of a break. It was like a month and a half, 2 months, whatever. It'll be fine. But I hate that it breaks up the momentum. I felt like episode 7 was the best episode of the season, and then boom, we're taking a break. So episode 8 will be following up to episode 7, obviously, with Book and I want to call him Aaron Wright. I think his name is Tarkin. Aaron Wright Tarkin go off to they go rogue. They go Rogue One, a Star Trek story, and they are trying to destroy the DMA. And Michael Burnham's going to have to stop her lover. So that's coming up in episode 8. So that actually should be good. It should be fun. So very interested to see where they go with the rest of the story here, and hopes that they don't fuck it up. We shall see. As mid-season breaks the new normal. I don't know. Discovery season 1 had a mid-season break, but it wasn't that long, if I remember correctly. I think I remember Discovery season 1 having a break, but it was like a couple weeks or something. Maddie Jester, I just hope the end of season 4 is good. Me too. I hope they don't fuck it up. Going back to Brandon Howells before, said 30,000 views for your most watched video. That's ironic. Why is it ironic? Okay. Book will get stopped by Burnham. Yeah, I would think so. Otherwise, the season would be over. So I think it will be. It's just going to be then you're going to have the repercussions of how that affects their relationship, and will they ever be the same again, and all that stuff. So that's what we're going to get into, I think. But yeah, I mean, he's got to be stopped by Burnham. Otherwise, what are you going to do for the rest of the season? Oh, the DMA is destroyed now. Okay, now what's the season about? Something completely different. Now we're going to bring in a CGI recreation of Captain Kirk, de-aged, and he's going to, I don't know, I'm trying to make a bad analogy to the Book of Boba Fett. We're just going to make it about something completely different. That's the point I was trying to make. That joke didn't go where I wanted it to go. I'm just going to drink. Let's see. I'm feeling less urgency about the DMA. than there was about the burn. Your thoughts, Alyssa? No, I disagree. I think the DMA is a much more pressing threat than the burn. The burn was just like, oh, we're not allowed, we can't go in warp drive. And we haven't for 100 years. So there was no urgency there. So I actually completely disagree. I think it's the opposite. I think there's a much more urgency, much more tension with the DMA than there was with the burn. But that's my opinion. Okay, guys. It's been an hour. I am realizing that I am getting through this bottle of wine really quickly. Like last month, I only got through like half the bottle, and this month I'm maybe this Syrah just goes down much more smoothly. I don't know. DMA is pretty dangerous. It could blow up Earth or something. Maddie Jester says, yes, it could. I'm feeling much more urgency for this than the cloud thing Voyager in the original motion picture, as I talked about in my review for that movie. It's just like, oh, the Earth is going to be destroyed. Maybe we should do something about it. There's like no urgency. There's no tension. Like the Earth is going to be destroyed, and I felt no tension in that movie. So the DMA is definitely way, way better than that. And what really brings it to life is Book and having his whole planet destroyed and like seeing how it affects him. I think that's gold. I think that's really, really high quality writing. How they have shown the dangers of the DMA really reflected in Book. So I think it's top notch stuff. Like I disagree. Definitely infinitely better than the motion picture. Oh, the Earth is about to be destroyed. Okay. I'm so happy to have you three here with me. Brandon Howells, Maddie Jester, and Norman Buchwald. Brandon and Maddie, you've been here every month. And Norman, I'm so happy to have you. I was hoping you might show up for one of these. So great to have you here. I'm going to be wrapping it up, but Maddie Jester has another comment. So I'm going to see what he said. You didn't mention in a review. Do you have any preference between the director's edition and the theatrical cut of the motion picture? I haven't seen the director's edition. I only watched the original cut in order to review it because, that would be the one that I'm familiar with. So I watched the original cut. I don't know. Is there any motivation for me to watch the director's cut? Because the version that I watched was very hard to sit through. I didn't enjoy it that much. So would I want to watch a different version of it? I mean, is it better? So I don't know that I'm ever going to watch the director's cut. I mean, I just suffered through the original cut already. The slow motion picture, you mean? Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to drink my wine as if this was the original motion picture. Dun, 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 dun. No, I can't do that. I'd be doing that for 3 solid minutes and it would annoy the fuck out of you, so I wouldn't do that. It's like ridiculous. Anytime a ship comes into dock, it's got to take 3 minutes playing the slow version of what would become the Next Generation theme song. Lower Decks making fun of the motion picture was great. It was the best. It was the best. That was the only thing that made it enjoyable to rewatch that scene where Kirk and Scotty are taking forever to get to the Enterprise. Was that it made me think of that Lower Decks episode, and I laughed. So that was the best. Okay. All right. Brandon, Maddie, Norman, thank you so much for joining me. Please join me again next month. Tell all your friends. Let's get more people in here. But I love having 3 people here. It's a good amount. I think if I had more than 3 people here, I wouldn't really get to talk about what I want to talk about as much because I'd be just stuck in the chat. So 3 people is actually a good amount, but I would still love to have more. So I really, really appreciate you guys coming. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. Next week, I will have my review up for Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, which I still need to watch. Maybe tonight or tomorrow. I'll get that in there. Probably tomorrow. I got plans tonight. So I'll probably do Wrath of Khan tomorrow and then get my review out by Friday. And then my Discovery review will be on Thursday. Discovery is coming back on Thursday. I'm so happy that there's a Star Trek show to look forward to on Thursdays that's not Prodigy. So I'm very happy about that. All right, everybody. Good to see you. I will see you all soon. Anyone who's watching this who is not subscribed, please subscribe. Check out all of my content on Star Trek and Star Wars. Look forward to my Book of Boba Fett review and my Discovery reviews and all that sort of stuff. And I will see you all soon. Goodbye.